Q's right at the pivot point. SIG not doing anything here today for us. It's trading at 57.65. So that's right in between the two strikes, which we see. We don't want that. Las Vegas stands bounced a little bit. Now it's up 14 cents. Bounced right off of a 44.01 support level. Apple continuing down here, down 3.5% almost today. Outside? Get the YouTube up and running a little bit late today. Had a little trouble getting that up and going today, so welcome folks watching on YouTube. I'm watching the Qs here. We did have a nice SPY super system trade right here. This is where I took it. This is where I get out. Small little trade, $20 a contract profit. Right now I'm watching it come back down to the pivot point and bounce right off the pivot point. William took a short apple, pulled the buck off of it, thought you were killing it. Well, you were. You took nice profits on it. It's still going down to 230.25. Again, this low of Monday, 229.72, would be a breakdown. Hasn't got quite got there yet. Get to 229.75. It came within 3 cents. Isaac, what's my thoughts on GEO? Geo Group, yeah, nice bullish chart. A little extended from the 8. A little extended from the 8. Again, I always get when I see charts like this, I always get nervous to think about taking them long when they're up here, because I know at some point in time they're going to come back to the 8. Anytime you look at the price action, when you see the price action get away from the 8, quite a ways away from the 8, it either compresses and waits for the 8 to catch up with it, or it pulls right back to the 8. That 8 exponential moving average, now it's been going sideways for a while. Now it's sloping up nicely, but it's a little extended from here. And if I look at the ATR on this thing, it's about, let's call it $1.50. All right, call it $1.50. So if I look, I say it's the ATR. Whoops, TC2000 just locked up briefly. Here we go. It's $1.50. So, all right, where's the 8 on here? I look at where's the 8? The 8 is at 31.76. 31.76. Stock's at 34.46. So 31.76 to 34.46. $2.70. All right. So how many ATRs is that? 270. It's at least it's probably not quite 2. Between 1.5 and 2 ATRs. That's a little extended when you're getting close to two ATRs. The true average true range is away from the 8. So that's why in that case, that's why I wouldn't want to take it here, but it's a really nice long setup, and a nice pullback in that thing would be beautiful. Apple continuing down here. Market just terrible price action. Just terrible price action. Again, you get antsy. I know you get antsy. You want to take a trade. You take trades when you shouldn't. This again. There's only been one setup today that was, in my opinion, that was even worth taking, which was this setup right here on the Qs. The rest of the stuff has been just junk. And again, here I'd be looking for the Qs long, because they're right down to the pivot point. They're also just above the 15 EMA and the 50 SMA on the daily, so they've got quite a bit of support just below. This may be the price action for the day. This kind of garbage. Jonathan, hi. Question on YouTube. I see you often take trades in the indexes, Qs, IWM, SPY overnight. It's not often, but I do take them sometimes. What's the main criteria or indication that the market is set up to do so? Well, I look at cumulative volume index, and then I look at price action, and it's very critical to know where my support and resistance levels is on the daily chart. The Qs I took long last night, and I had a nice cumulative index divergence. The market was coming in. At the end, the cumulative index was going up, so I liked it long. But then I have to pick which index, and I took the Qs because they were above the 50, and they didn't have any nearby resistance levels. the SPY had the 50-day as resistance, which it smacked right into this morning. So that's why I took the Qs. The Qs performed okay. I mean, I did well on that. I get in at 380 a contract last night, and I get out at about 470 a contract today. But it's, there's a lot of there's no there's no easy say, okay, when it's like this I'm going to take it long or short overnight. It's very nuanced. It's nuanced into price action. There's a lot of criteria that go into it. Um, it's not a specific, very specific. There's more criteria that go into it than I can just explain quickly. And then I always point those out, that those are very speculative trades. Yes, Jonathan. Cumulative index is off a TC 2000. Right. Inside the room, I talk about this stuff all the time. So. Yeah, my only significant trade here would be, other than the SPY Super System trade, is I bought some root shares. The options are too expensive, too widespread, so I took shares in root, ROOT, and they're up for me, I don't know, 80 cents or something. Nice daily chart on root right here. You'll see it into the gap. Blue, multiple time frame momentum, current time frame momentum, bearish and bullish. Nice breakout right here in root. That's some exciting SPY action right there when we opened. Now we're just chopping around a little bit more. I'm sorry, I'm back in. There you go. Here we go. Here we are right now in the SPY. Okay, the SPY is right now set up for SPY Super System long, but you've got to understand that the 50-day moving average is very close. 50-day is 594.71. 594.71. About $1.30 above where the SPY is right now. Q is still red here on the current time frame momentum. SPY also still yellow.
Commentary continued commentary actually. Says inflation will be closer to Fed's 2% target than we have been in the past few years.
Again, I'm not trading against the momentum here. I'm just not going to do that. This looks like a nice long trying to set up. So is a SPY, and it could work, but I'm not going to trade against the momentum indicator because it tells me way too much. And the T2104 is still looking bullish, however, right today. So we still get a bullish divergence in the T2104. Although it's not that much of a divergence because the SPY is up 0.1% right now. Qs are dead flat. Qs are exactly flat. Zero change.
Says the 30-year average is 7.04%. As of January 16, up from last year when it averaged 6.93%.
So momentum is starting to swing to bullish on the SPY and the Qs. Still, Q's struggling to get up to above the VWAP here. SPY already cleared it and moving up again. Just if you take this, just be aware of where the 50-day moving average is on the SPY. And the SPY is showing some relative strength to the other two indexes right now. Pretty slow price action of these candles on the Qs. The Qs are riding right along the VWAP. The fact that the SPY has moved up through it gives you a little bit of confidence that maybe the Qs will as well. T2104 is still very, very bullish. Oops. So I'm taking some Q calls right now. Again, this is a trade where I'm expecting it to move. This is an expectation move as opposed to a confirmation move. I don't have a confirmation of a break above the VWAP, but I'm trading an expectation move. I've got blues here. I got the SPY moving up. I got the T2104 bullish. So to me, it's worth the risk, especially since I'm so close to the VWAP right here. So I took the 516 calls at $1.73. 516 calls at $1.73. They're $1.84 right now. I'm not looking for any massive moves here. But again, I did take a expectation move in this. I've got in my current time momentum. It's looking nice, sloping up nicely. I'm above the VWAP, and I'm right at the VWAP. So if I lose on this thing, unless it's a big huge red flush candlestick, I'm gonna take a fairly small loss if I lose on it. Right now, I get in at $1.73. They're at $1.81 right now. I have a sell order at 193 just in case it pops up and breaks through here. I don't know if it will or not, but if it does, I'll take profits off. I'm not going to try to look for on a day like this with this price action. I'm not going to be looking for any big, massive runs up in anything right now. Fong, I'll get to your question in just a second about the SPY super system trade. I'm just kind of watching the. I got to watch this Q's trade because again, it's an expectation trade. I'm right on the VWAP. The thing could go either way. I have momentum in my favor, and I have the cumulative index in my favor. But on a day like this, it doesn't really mean much. SPY's coming back a little bit too. So if this falls back down below here, I'm going to get out. I'm not going to take any big losses on this thing. I took it off. I took it off for a nickel. I'm gonna wait and see here. I'm not getting any kind of quick confirmation here, so I took it off for a nickel profit. So I'm out of the Q trade right now. On the question that you had, it's a good question too, Thuong. This is a very good question regarding the SPY super system. When I see a setup, and let's say the SPY, and there's a clear sky ahead, however the Qs and IWM are approaching the support resistance, should we hold off of the trade and wait for the other indexes to clear their support resistance, or can we take the trade regardless? You can take the trade regardless. Now you've obviously got to be cognizant of the fact that if the trade starts to lose momentum and starts to flatten out and starts to move sideways or down a little bit, once the other indexes are hitting their resistance levels, then you probably want to take the trade off right there, because it will impact the other trade sometimes. Sometimes the other trade is so strong that it'll just go right through there. But I don't hold off if the stock is close to a resistance level. If the other stocks are close to resistance level, if I've got that's why I took the Qs today, and why I'm not worried about the other ones as far as where they go. But you do need to be aware of it. But I don't hold off on the trade based on that. Again, I'm out of here. I took a nickel on these Qs. I'll see what they do. Again, this is very weak price action. Very weak. Pretty garbagey here. Again, this is like trying to chase nickels. Um, price action very very weak. SPY looking about the same as the Q, except slightly above the VWAP. IWM also looking about the same.
New York Times. Trump is set to consider an executive order to circumvent TikTok ban.
Harry, looking at Lily moving back up. Yeah, we're having a good day today. Lily's moving up, very nice grind up. Nice move up today, up about 2.5%. But you know, again, and I understand you could day trade this thing to the upside, but remember when I take a trade, any day trade I take on a stock, I have to have a bullish chart to trade it because I want to be able to hold it overnight if I need to. I can't do that with Lily, so that's why I don't trade it. And if you want to intraday trade that thing to the upside, go ahead and do it all day long. It's fine. Again, it's not within the criteria that I require for my high probability trade setups. That's the whole point. There's nothing wrong with trading it long today. It's moving up beautifully, and you can make some good money on that. So, but I just can't. I can't take it under the criteria that I set up for high probability trades. Yeah, I appreciate you bringing them up. I want you to keep bringing them up, Ari, because you pick out some beautiful ones. And but just because I don't take it doesn't mean I think it's a bad trade. It just doesn't meet the criteria that I have for. If I was going to trade that today, I would have had to get in and get out, and I would have to get out. And if it went against me, I'd have to bail on it. I couldn't keep it overnight. Rory points out, by the way, if you're looking for the videos, if you're a paid subscriber, if you're looking for the videos, there is a members area that you can log into, and in there is orders and view, and there should be a link that takes them to the video. About 30 different training videos I've got out there, so you should be able to get that. Yen Q's pulled down again. I made a nickel on this one. I'm up 25 cents today on my SPY Super System trades, and lucky to be there. About 12.15 right here. Do I mean the TOS link for the new frameworks? No. The for the SPY Super System. No, that you'd have to get. You've got to get that from Sergio or Charles. Just contact Rightline, tell them you want them, and they'll send you and tell you how to set up those particular strategies, these setups. They come into studies. You basically would you can click on them and get them, and they would just create a new study set for you. Okay, Rory's going to log into the room and post it in the chat. But that is for the, that's for these for the it's for this for the that will be for the videos. As far as the as far as the um, studies, um, they there's a way to do it. Listen, I'm not a toss expert, but there's a way to do it that if they send them to you, if you can go find them, you can just click on them and they'll create a new study for you. And that's like the study right now I've got like this. Again, I'm not an expert on Thinkorswim, so I'm just not the best person to try to teach or show anybody how to do this. Plus, I don't have time right now to do all of that. But this is what the new format looks like, or the SPY Super System template looks like. It's not new, but it eliminates everything except the current time frame momentum, the oscillator here, the VWAP, the 15 EMA, the pop out of the box symbols, all the rest of all that stuff will be there, but the other indicators are gone, right? So that's one of them. And then if I go back to my regular study set, I have this thing called new 125. That goes back to this format right here. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of folks trying to get all these things right now, and they have a lot of stuff going on down there. So you kind of have to be patient with them as far as this new stuff is concerned. It's not like you can't trade off of this, okay? It just makes it more. It makes it simpler to have the SPY Super System template if you're just trading the SPY Super System. Q's not doing much of anything here right now. And Joe says go to Discord and he'll help you over there. Joe's an expert on Thinkorswim, so go over to Discord. They can probably help you put in the new template. Yeah, I'm just watching here. I took one trade here. I tried another one here, an expectation trade, thinking it was going to move through here as it went to blue. It didn't. I took a nickel profit. I wasn't planning on trying to stay in it very long at all. Rory put put the link to the training videos in the chat box, so you should be able to get them right there. Yep, he's linked them in there. So you can click on those, and that'll take you to the to those videos. Then just save it on your machine, bookmark it, so you can come back to it. Thanks, Rory. Appreciate it. Terrible price action today. Terrible. And welcome to all the YouTube folks. I just showed you just a minute ago. That was a couple of different templates for SPY Super System. We've got this one here, which I can use for the SPY Super System on the intraday for the SPY, the Qs and IWM by using this indicator here, current time frame momentum. Current time frame momentum. Green and blue is bullish, red and yellow is bearish. You see, we're just flipping back and forth. This is multi-time frame momentum. These two we would use on a daily chart if we wanted to go long. We want these things to be blue or green for long, red and yellow for short. We want these things to be have the same color set. It doesn't have to be the exact same color. You can have a green and a blue, but you do need to both be bullish, which on a daily you would be looking at the daily chart for that. This is a long-term trend. This is the actual oscillator itself, which has the This is the Laguerre oscillator with the divergence stripped out of there. It's straight momentum. VWAP of the pink line, 15 EMA is this little green line that keeps going green and red, telling you that we don't have any trend at all right now. This is really miserable price action to try to trade. It really is. Q's trying to break again here. Another setup here. My super system setup right here, off of a confirmation candle, off of the break of the VWAP right here. I'm long the Q's, using tomorrow's expiration date now. I'm just going to see what I can get out of this Q trade. I'm up about a dime here as it breaks above here, comes out of the dynamic compression zone. Again, I use just tomorrow's expirations. Let's see what happens. About even on it right now. Joe, some of the most erratic price action in SPY and Qs, that's for sure. Again, I am long the Qs here. I paid $3.43 for the 516 calls expiring tomorrow. They're trading up about a dime right now. I've tentatively have a sell order in at 363. If I can get a little pop here. I don't have any warm, fuzzy feelings about this thing continuing on up here today. Just so far, it just hasn't been doing much of anything. This was like the best run we've had. I needed to get to about 517.50. Maybe a little less than that. This is really hard price action. I'm going to scratch this trade. This SPY Super System trade on this Qs right here. This price action is pretty bad. SPY's starting to come down a little bit right now, so I'm going to scratch it. So I scratched I scratched the Q trade out of the Qs. Good time to get ready to get something to eat. This is just really garbage. Trying to trace this. Tried to get another nickel or dime out of it. Ended up scratching it. It's a lot of work for nothing. Q's coming in. This is just garbage. I'm not going to even mess with this thing. I'm going to have to see some better price action before I delve into this thing at all, because this is again, I made 20 cents, $20 and then $5, so I'm up $25 on 3 trades. I scratched this one, so pretty weak day here on trading intraday for sure. Las Vegas Sands still coming in. Got a sell order on Las Vegas Sands. We took profits on the Morgan Stanley time spread today. That worked out pretty nicely. SIG's doing nothing, just moving sideways. Very disappointing. After some big volume and some big moves on SIG last couple of days. It's coming down now, but it's down to 56.75. We've got to get it below 55. It is coming in though. GK, is there a trial for the indicators on TOS? A trial? No, if you take a trial to my room, you can see the indicators and we talk about them, but you can't get a trial on the indicators. They're not, you can't take the indicators and see. You can watch them in the room and see how you like them and see how they work, but you can't get them and then give them up. No, not on indicators. I don't know that anybody would ever do that. Yomi, what do I think about the BPAI? Yeah, it's moving up. It's at 404. What are the? Let me see what are the options going for? I think those were 350 calls, I believe. Let me look. Yeah, 350 calls. They're only worth 55 cents right now. Um, they're not giving you much price. I'm going to hold on to it because it's got room up to 480. And if it gets up to 480, I forget what I paid for those things. BBAI. Let's see. I paid $1.70 for them. So out of 350, you'd have to get to about 450. Yeah, about close to $5. I'm going to hold on to them. I'm going to let the 55 risk and try to get a bounce in BBAI tomorrow. Right now, you can only get about 55 cents for them, which is better than nothing, of course. But again, it depends on what your risk tolerance is, and whether you think BBAI is going to bounce here. It's doing a nice job today. Decent volume too. Joe, in Tradia for the SPY Super Systems, for the SPY Super System trades, do I do an OTO, placing buy and sell at the same time? No, I don't put a sell order until after I've been filled. I put the sell order in after it gets filled. I'm not trying to scalp it in just seconds. I want to give the thing a little bit of time. So I put the order in. I watch the price action. I put my sell order in, then I adjust that. Horrible price action. I'm going to stop here in a few minutes and get some lunch. It's about 12:41. About 4 more minutes. I'm going to get some lunch. I'm going to go ahead and end the YouTube feed at that point. And again, I want to thank everybody who came in on YouTube today to watch. Appreciate that. Watch the what we do over here. Again, a terrible day for trading. I've had 2 SPY Super System trades for a grand total of $25 a contract profit. That's it. It just has not been setups for it. I did buy some Root stocks, ROOT. I don't buy a lot of stock, but I did take stock in Root today. I like this Root pattern. I'm up a little bit on it, nothing big, but it's in a void area of between 2 horizontal high volume horizontal support and resistance levels right here. AGKF, appreciate that. Yeah, you get to see my thought process and the criteria that I use, and you get to see the indicators. This is really important. This SPY Super System software is really important. These indicators are, if you try to trade against this thing, it's really bad news, because this is telling you what the institutions are doing on the 5-minute right here on the Qs, and you can look at it on all the stocks too. If I look at Root right now, I can see that that right now that this selling Root. Right, I'm long the stock, but what I was interested in when I bought it was I was looking at the daily chart, because this is a swing trade. So now I want to see blue and green on the current time frame, momentum, and the multi-time frame. It tells me as of today the institutions are buying this, so I buy it too. I don't try to buy it when they're not buying it. All right, so that's This software is really helpful. Made a huge difference in my win rate. You know, it doesn't sound like much, but my win rate went from about 82% to about 88 to 90%, and that's a big difference. And basically, the biggest thing it does is eliminate taking trades that I shouldn't be in.
I don't know what they're coming to cut.
It's just making it neat. That's all. They edge and stuff and get rid of the leaves. GK, this thing down below here, no, that's the actual. This is a current time frame momentum. This is the momentum indicator I use, which is a Laguerre with a divergence stripped out. Okay, the OSP you're talking about, I don't use the OSP or the 1OP indicator. I don't use it. But see how this just went yellow here. It's telling me that the oscillator is breaking down below this 80 level. This is really important for me as far as the trading is concerned. And this is what I use. I use technical analysis off of my TC2000 chart, and I use my my super system software, what used to be called the Compass software. This is where I find out what the institutions are doing on a 5-minute basis and on a daily basis for my swing trades, and 5-minute basis for my intraday trades. But on intraday trades on stocks, that I'm doing options on stocks, I have to have a daily chart that aligns. In other words, if I'm going long on a trade, even if I think I'm going to intraday trade it, it's got to have a daily setup, a daily bullish setup for me. The daily chart's got to be bullish for me to go long. The only exception to that is when I do the SPY super systems. I'm just trading those specifically off the 5-minute candlesticks and watching price action that's occurred. Down in my taskbar, okay, yeah, right here you're talking about. Yeah, it's a different platform, of course, but I post over there, of course, and but I don't use that indicator. I use some of the scans over there, that's all. All right, I'm going to get some lunch. And thanks for the YouTube folks. I'm going to go ahead and cut the YouTube stream right now. We've been up for a little over an hour. I got started a little late today, but I appreciate everybody coming in, all the folks that come into the YouTube and watching watching the price action over here. Been a pretty horrible price action day. I did have some nice Q calls overnight that worked beautifully. We took some profits in our Morgan Stanley time spread this morning, about 30% profit in that. We're still in Las Vegas Sands short, waiting to see if we can get some profits in that. We're still in the SIG strangle, which is not working at all right now. So we'll see where we go. Again, the market price action is terrible. It's a very, very tough day. It's a very good day to be patient. Every day is a good day to be patient. This is a good day to not even trade right now. The less you trade in a day like this, the more money you're probably going to save. Okay, GK, thank you very much. Hey, I appreciate you being in the feeding, watching it. I appreciate that. All right, everybody, I'm going to get a little bit of lunch. I'm going to cut the YouTube feed right now. Thanks, guys. We'll be back up with YouTube tomorrow around 11:15 or so.